I'll read the third question, and it says, I say yes to too many things and I end up exhausted. How do I build stronger boundaries without feeling selfish? You know, when people tell me I can't say no, what they really mean is that I'm afraid of what that might cost me. Because beneath that habit of overcommitting lies something that is much deeper. It's a longing to be accepted, to be appreciated, and even just not to be misunderstood. And if you're naturally high in agreeableness, that's the A in Ocean personality model again. You know this tension well. You want harmony, you want connection, you want peace. But when that desire goes unchecked, it turns from kindness into quiet self-betrayal. So today, let's talk about how to honor your heart without handing it over. I'll start by saying that being agreeable doesn't mean being available. We've confused niceness with goodness. Niceness says, I'll do whatever I have to do to keep the peace. Goodness says, I'll do what is aligned with truth, even if it disrupts false peace. Boundaries are not just barriers. They are bridges that protect what matters to us the most. Boundaries say, here's where I end, and here's where you begin. And when you lack them, you don't just lose energy, you lose identity. Let's bring this into psychology. Agreeableness is a personality trait that is rooted in empathy, is rooted in kindness and even cooperation. It's beautiful, but when dialed too high, it becomes compliance. People who score high in agreeableness often struggle with assertiveness, which is the ability to just communicate their needs clearly and confidently without aggression. Why is that? I think that is because conflict feels like danger to them. Their nervous system equates disagreements with disconnection. So they say yes just to preserve relationships, even when that yes violates their own peace. But every yes that betrays your priorities is a small no to your purpose. And over time, that internal split becomes resentment, the quiet ache of self-abandonment. Picture this. You are like a cup with tiny cracks. Every time you say yes when you mean no, another crack forms. At first, it looks fine, still upright, still pouring. But slowly you start leaking. No one sees it, but you begin to feel it in your fatigue, in your irritability, your loss of joy. Eventually, you are empty, still pouring into others, but running on fumes. Boundaries are how you seal those leaks. They keep your generosity sustainable. This is the part where we must rewire emotionally. You've been conditioned to think that saying no is selfish, but actually, saying yes to everything is irresponsible stewardship. You are the resource through which your purpose flows. If you deplete the vessel, the mission collapses. Jesus himself modeled boundaries. He withdrew from crowds, said no to premature requests, and he retreated to rest and to pray. In fact, he didn't heal everyone, not because he didn't care, but because his assignment had focus. Love should have limits, because limitless giving without wisdom is not love, it's a leakage. You know, I once worked with a client, brilliant executive, respected by everyone, but exhausted by everything. Her calendar was a battlefield of other people's priorities. She said yes to every project, every request, every quick question. And during one of our sessions, I asked, what would break if you said no more often? She thought about it for a while and then said, maybe just the illusion that I'm indispensable. That was the breakthrough. She began practicing what we call compassionate no's, declining requests with clarity and kindness. Thank you for thinking about me, but it's not something that I can commit to right now. But here's a resource that might help you. And within weeks, her workload dropped tremendously. In fact, her respect went up and it didn't go down because boundaries didn't make her less available. It just made her more valuable. Let's talk about the emotional cost of these shifts. There are two kinds of pains that you feel in life. The pain of regret, saying yes to others and no to yourself. And the pain of awkwardness, which is saying no to others but staying true to yourself. One fades quickly, the other lingers for years. Boundaries are choosing short-term awkwardness over long-term resentment. The former discomfort, it refines you. The latter corrodes you. So here's a simple framework you can use to set boundaries without guilt. I'll call it the 3 hours of boundary setting. The first one is reflect. Before saying yes, ask, does this align with my top 3 priorities? And then rephrase. When declining, affirm the relationship before the refusal. I value what you are doing. Unfortunately, I can't take this at this time of the week. And then reinforce. End with clarity, not apology. There's no justifications needed, no self-shaming. Boundaries don't need a defense, they just need consistency. Your brain actually releases stress hormones when you anticipate no. It's wired to seek approval. That's why it feels physically uncomfortable at first. But repetition retrains your brain. Each time you practice assertiveness, the prefrontal cortex, which is the logical center in your brain, overrides the emotional center, which is the amygdala's fear response. You are literally rewiring your courage. Think of your life like a garden. Your time, your energy, and your peace are the soil. If you leave the gate open to every request, every passerby will trample on your growth. Boundaries are the gates. They don't keep people out. They guide them in properly. Let me give you an assignment for this week. Say one intentional, clear, unapologetic no. Not from irritation, but from integrity. When guilt whispers, remind yourself, I'm not rejecting people. I'm protecting purpose. You will feel the initial sting, but also a strange relief, like exhaling after holding your breath for a very long time. That's what self-respect feels like. Boundaries are how love learns to last. You can be kind and clear. You can serve and still stand tall. You can say no, not because you don't care, but because you finally do. So do that brick by brick, and alignment will be built. If you are a creative, an ambitious person, you probably saw yourself in one or more of these questions. The truth is that greatness isn't built by doing everything. It's by doing the right things consistently, courageously, and with clear boundaries. Creativity without completion leads to frustration, and goals without alignment would lead to exhaustion. Kindness without boundaries would also lead to burnout. So which of these lessons do you need the most right now? Is it consistency, or clarity, or boundaries? Drop it in the comments and let's talk about it. And if you'd like to go deeper, if you've got too many ideas, too many goals, or too little time, and you need to have a structured game plan that actually fits your wiring, I take 5 private clients every month for my game plan consultation. It's a 90-minute deep dive where we would clarify your direction, would identify your highest impact goals, and map a personalized execution plan. You'll walk away with a full game plan report, which are just actionable steps you can use immediately. The link is in the description and a QR code is right on the screen. You can apply, and if you are selected, we'll work together one-on-one to bring focus, fulfillment, and flow into your life. Thank you very much for staying through and watching the Brick by Brick broadcasts. Remember, mastery isn't about adding more bricks, it's about laying the right ones in the right order. So keep building with focus. Keep building with alignment. And I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you.
This now, Brick by Brick broadcast. Live your full potential on purpose.